The third is, please stop me whenever you think that you are not understanding. Just you can type your questions in the chat box or in the question answer box. And I will see from time to time your questions and I will try to tell you the answer of the questions. Now, before I begin my lecture today, I have two questions for you. Let us see whether you are able to answer or not. This is the first question. And you can write your answers in the chat box. Which of the following are variable or variables? And these are your options. So read them carefully and try to answer. I have not got the answer from any participants. Please try to answer. Do not worry. I will not tell you whether your answer is correct or not by name. I will not tell you that. I will give you the correct answer later on, and you can compare your answer with the correct answers. And then you will know whether your answer is correct or not. The two participants have given, three have given the answer. Out of 23, 3 people have given the answer. I'll just wait for 1 more minute. 4 people have given the answer. I'm waiting if some more participants can come forward to give the answer. 5 participants have given the answer. Okay, let me see your answers. Okay, thank you. I have seen your answers. Oh, chat is disallowed. Okay. Pramod, please see that the chat is disallowed. Activate the chat.
Okay, sir. Okay. Yes, sir. Done.
Now the chat is able, so you can use the chat if you want. Now here is another question. You can answer this question through chat. One participant has given the answer. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. So out of 27, only 7, 8 parties. Okay. Come up. 9. 10. 10 participants have given, 11 have given the answer. Okay, let us just wait for 1 more minute. And then I will give you the answer because a lot of people are giving the answer still. 12. 13. 14. 14 people have given the answer. 15 people have given the answer. Okay, let me give you the answer. Lokesh Singh, welcome. Harpreet Kaur, welcome to the program again. Okay, let me give you the correct answer of the first question. Oh, Rupali, good evening. Welcome to the program again. Now, which of the following is our variable or variables? Content of mathematics is a variable because there are different concepts, different topics, different information. So it is a variable. Male teacher is not a variable. Urban teacher is a variable. Sorry, urban teacher is not a variable. Sorry. Hemoglobin is a variable. Because urban teachers means all teachers, those who are from urban. So it is not a variable, it's a constant. Then female science teacher is not a variable, anxiety is a variable. Discussion method is not a variable. If it would have been methods of teaching, then it would have been a variable. Achievement in physics is a variable. So these are the answers of this particular question. So you can compare your answers and you can know whether your answers are correct or not. Let us have another one. Which of the following is or not the correct names? See, this is important here. Not. Identification of problem is the correct name. Defining the problem is not the correct name. Selecting place of data collection is not the correct name. Hypothesis, thinking about the hypothesis is not the correct name. Collection of data is the correct name. Deciding the time of data collection is not the correct name. Conclusion is the correct name. Selection of problem is not the correct name. Selection of guide, not the correct name. Selection of variable, not the correct name. And selection of the university for doing research is not the correct name. So these are the answers of this particular question. So hope some of you might have got the correct answer, and those who have not got it, please, you can just note down the correct answers. We proceed further. Oh, Nayak ji, namaskar. Good evening. You are welcome. Okay, dear friends, now let us start. Because here is a basics of research. Some of my friends have again joined this particular program. They have attended one of my earlier program. So I hope that they will bear with me, because some of the information they must be knowing beforehand. I will try to give different examples so that they do not feel out of the place. And if there is a information you already know, it doesn't matter, just bear with me, because there are many new participants. They are attending it for the first time. And this is about the basics of the research. So we start now. Let me first of all give you what exactly is a research. So today what I will tell you is, I will tell you the definition of research. Then I will tell you the characteristics of research. And then I will tell you the types of research. And then I will tell you the steps of research. So these are the four aspects which I plan to cover in this particular webinar. So let me tell you the research. Now, my dear friend, this research word, you can break into the two words. One word is re and another word is search. Re means again and search means search. Search again and again. Now what do you search? You search whatever you want and you are not getting it. So that means you are confronted with a problem. So you have a problem and you are trying to find out the solution of that problem. Many a times you keep your mobile and sometimes you forget where you have kept your mobile. You search your mobile everywhere at home because you need mobile at that point of time, but you are not getting it. If you want and you get it, then naturally there is no problem. Now, many a time you want a particular medicine. You go to one pharmacy and you do not get it. Then you go to another pharmacy, go to another pharmacy. So because you need the medicine, so therefore now you have a problem. So you try to go ahead to find the solution. So once you have a problem, then you must have solution. You know, the COVID-19 was a problem all over the world. It was a unique problem. It's not a problem only for one particular country, it's all the countries. And then the scientists, they started doing research to find the solution of this particular problem. And you know, they work day and night. And as I came to know from the newspapers, that normally when you come up with a new vaccine, it takes almost 14 to 15 years. But this vaccine, they came out within even less than 9 months. So that means they must have worked very, very, very hard. So they had a problem and therefore they wanted to find the solution and they started doing the work. So they started doing activities. And these activities, they were not doing in any fashion, but they were doing systematically. Or you can use the word scientifically. And when they were doing different activities in a particular sequence, that is called a process. See, when you wash your utensils, washing utensils is a process and you know the steps. When you drive the car, the driving car or scooter is a process. You know what do you do first and what do you do second and third and etc. When the nurse give the injection, so giving injection is a process and you know what nurse does. She knows the step. What is the first step? What is the second step? What is the third step, etc. So therefore, whenever there are different steps, it is called a process. So these are the 5 important words which you must use in order to define research, because each of these words is the characteristic, and once it is the characteristic of the research, then they must be part and parcel of the definition of research. So therefore, I can define research using these 5 words, and that is research refers to a problem. Research refers to a problem wherein activities are carried out systematically or scientifically to find solution of the problem. Now, this is the general definition of the research, and these 5 words, which are very, very important, because each word is the characteristics of the research. Another is activities. Another is either you can say systematic or you can say scientific. Another is solution. And then another is a problem. Now please see, in the definition, I have written the word the problem. When I say the problem, that means it's a particular problem. But the problem may be one, but there might be many solutions of the problem. Now, I need not to tell you, you all already know that for COVID-19, there are many vaccines. Many countries, they came up with their own vaccines. In India also, we came up with 2 vaccines, and these vaccines were used within India, and some of the other countries also have adopted it. So adaptation is there. So therefore, this is the general definition. And if you want to convert this definition into the definition of any subject, say if I say research in economics refers to a problem wherein activities are carried out. Normally in economics, we will be using the word systematic. But if you want to use the word scientific, there is no problem. You can use any word you like. So carried out systematically or scientifically to find solution of the problem related to some aspect of economics. So if you do the research in economics, but natural, your problem must be from some aspect of economics. That is what is. Now, if you want to do research, in research in botany refers to a problem. No. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my dear friend. I have made one mistake. It refers to a process, not problem. It refers to a process. I'm sorry. Because here I wrote process. And here research refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically or scientifically to find solution of the problem. That's all right. So refers to a process, not problem. It refers to a process. So research in botany refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically or scientifically. If botany people, they want to use the word scientifically, no problem. If they don't want to use the word systematic, then you may remove systematic. Or if you want to use the word systematic, it's perfectly correct. Nothing wrong in that. And then to find the solution of problem related to some aspect of botany. If you want research in education, refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically or scientifically to find solution of the problem related to some aspect of education. Now, like this, you can define a research in any subject. If you want physical education, then research in physical education refers to a process wherein activities are carried out systematically or scientifically to find the solution of problem related to some aspect of physical education. So these are the general definitions of research. Any question, any participant like to ask about the definition of the research? I have given you a general definition, and you can always change that general definition so as to suit to your subject. And I have given you some example. The same definition will work research in music, research in dance, research in fine arts, research in agriculture, research in medical science, any subject, it doesn't matter. So any question you want to ask, and if there is no question, then I proceed further. Now, I like to give you the characteristics of research. Now, what I am giving you the characteristics of research. It doesn't matter whether you are doing research in physical education or psychology or management or political science or social work, any subject, because these are the characteristics of research, not the characteristics of research in physical education, research in economics. These are common. So therefore, the characteristics are like this. These are the 5 words, and each word will be the characteristics of the research. So one is research refers to a problem. So this is the one characteristics that you have to have a problem. The second characteristic is research involves activities. Then the third one is research is systematic or scientific in nature. Research is systematic or scientific. Then the fourth one is research is a process. And the fifth one is research leads to a solution. So these are the characteristics of the research. The same characteristics will be in physics, in music, in dance, in fine arts, in economics. Everywhere these are the characteristics. So any question from any participant related to the concept of research and its characteristics. If there is a question, please put your question in the chat box. Okay, if there is no question, then let me ask you a question. You know the 2 words. One word is discovery. Another word is invention. So what is the difference between discovery and invention? With the one question, anyone you like to answer? Another question I want to ask is, what is or what are systematic activities? These are the two questions. Anyone like to answer? I have got 5 answers from the people. Let us see what is the answer. Okay. One, you have said that discovery is whatever exists. If something exists on the planet and you do not know, so you can discover it. Okay. Another, you said invention. And invention, you said new creation. Okay, that is the one difference. What are the other differences? What are the other differences between the discovery and invention? One is that whatever exists on this particular planet can be discovered, and in invention you are doing something new. Fine. What are the other differences? Find out the other differences. So this question is still unanswered. Now, what are systematic activities? Any answer, any participant like to give out this second question? Yes, Rupali, welcome. Yes, invention is new. Fine. But what are the other differences? There are many other differences. Okay, we proceed further. So these are the two questions. Try to find the answer of these two questions. Now I'm going to the next point. Next point is Nayak, why do we do step by step? If you do not do step by step, what happens? Okay, I've got another difference between discovery and invention. Good. Yes, Pooja Gupta, I have got seen your answer. Good. But Pooja, try to understand the meaning of exploration. Okay, I go to the next. Next point is the types of research. And I will try to give this particular information with the help of a table. I make a table now. Here in this table, this is the serial number I am going to write. And here I will give you the type of research, and here I will give you the base. What is the base of this type of research? Because we must understand the researches on the basis of, on their basis. I'm just reducing the font size of this. Now, I just ask a question. Do you know what are the types of data? Name the types of the data. Harpreet Kaur, excellent. Excellent. Think still, there are more differences. Think again. Go ahead, very nice. So, do you know the types of the data? Okay, Nayak, I have got your answer. Harpreet, I have got your answer. Rupali, I have got your answer. I'm still waiting for some more answers. Lokesh, I have got your answer. Now, Nayak, you have changed your answer. My dear friend, many of the people, they say the primary and secondary data. Please, primary and secondary are the sources of the data. The primary is not a data, primary is a source. Secondary is not a data, secondary is a source. So therefore, there are two sources. So you can give that, differentiate them, that one is you may have a qualitative data or you may have a quantitative data. If I ask which type of car you have, then you can say I'm having Maruti, or I'm having Hyundai, or I am having some other one, the name of the car. If I say, in which city do you live? So you will name the city. If I ask you from which university you graduated, you give me the name of the university. So these are the qualitative information. If I ask you how many family members do you have, then you will say 4 or 3 or 2. So this is the number. How many cars do you have? You may say 1 car or 2 cars. So this is the number. So you can give the information either in the numbers or without numbers. So one is called qualitative. So any research which is based on qualitative information, it is called qualitative research. And any information which is based on quantitative is called quantitative research. Now, suppose there is a question and you write your answer. The question is qualitative and your answer is also qualitative. And then the examiner will give the marks. He may give 8 marks out of 10. So what the examiner has done, examiner has converted the qualitative information into quantitative. But if you ask the same examiner that can you reproduce the answer of this question in which you have given 8 marks, then I'm sure no examiner can reproduce the same answer in which he has given 8 marks or 6 marks or 5 marks. It's not possible. Examiner may give the answer of this question so that he may get 8 marks. That is possible. So that means you cannot convert the quantitative into qualitative. So qualitative data can be converted into quantitative, but quantitative data cannot be converted into qualitative. Or from the quantitative, you cannot get back the original qualitative answer. So qualitative data can be converted into quantitative, but not vice versa. If you want, you can write like that. If you want to write like this, okay, or otherwise you can write like this also, but not vice versa. So in any way, that's perfectly correct, you can do. And if these are the 2 types, then I will say my base is type of data, or you can say information. Now, if I have another one, that you can have another way to classify the researches. One is what is known as, if you want to study the vision of any person, there cannot be a human being without a vision. You have to have your vision. Vision means what you want to do. When you were in the school, you might have decided to become engineer or to become doctor or to become teacher or something like that. But when you came to the university or college, your vision might have changed, because the vision is not static. Vision is dynamic. Vision can be changed with respect to time. As you move in your life, you can keep on changing your vision, but maybe after a particular time, your vision may stabilize in one aspect, but it's not whole life. So vision if you ask me, every writer, whether it is Munshi Premchand or any writer, whether it is Vivekanand or Mahatma Gandhi or Munshi Premchand or any other, all of them had their own vision, their own ideas. Each political party has their idea, their ideology, and they go by that ideology. That ideology gives them a path. Now, at present, there are elections in Himachal Pradesh, and later on, it will be in Gujarat. Each party came up with their own manifesto. This manifesto was nothing but the vision of that particular party, that if they come to the power, they will do this and this and this for the society, for the general people. So that is the vision, and vision means the philosophy. So it's a philosophical research. So anytime you as a researcher or somebody as a researcher, you try to understand the ideas of Munshi Premchand ji, then you have to read the books written by Munshi Premchand. You cannot read the books written by somebody else about Munshi Premchand ideas. No. If you want to know the meaning of the value which Vivekanand had, then you have to read the material written by Vivekanand or lectures given by Vivekanand. Then not only then you will be able to understand the idea, the value, what exactly is value according to him. If you want to study the ideas of Mahatma Gandhi about the family structure or about the education system, so you have to read the books written by Mahatma Gandhi himself. So in the philosophical research, the original source is used. The primary source is used. But if you want to study something which has happened, so in the past, then if you want to study something in the past, then you call it a historical research. Now the COVID-19, from where it originated, from which country it came. Now it has become a history. Although still people feel that its origin is in China, but China has been denying all the time. Whatever has happened in the domain of the history, the past event, if you want to study, if you think about yourself, then when you were in class 5th, how were you studying? Which subject you like the most? If you go back, this is the historical thing about yourself. Sometimes people do go back in their own life and they visualize how were they. Okay, so that's a historical. If you want to study that what time of the business system during the British period, then you have to go back and you have to read the literature which pertains to that particular age, that particular year, that particular time. So therefore, in the historical research, you may get information from the primary source, and if the primary source is not available, then you may get information from the secondary source. Now, if you want to study, so primary source and secondary source are the one which will give you information. They are not the types of the research. And philosophical research will always use the primary source. They will never use the secondary source. But historical research, if the primary source is not available, you can use the secondary source. Then another is, if you want to study something in the present context, then it is called survey research. Now, if you want to find out what is the cost of the wheat, what is the cost of the rice, how many types of bicycles are available, what is the condition of the roads, what type of, which picture is being screened in which of the picture hall, which school is the best, which university is the best, etc., etc. All these information you will get through survey. Survey means you actually have to collect the information. It is not available in any book or something like that. The cost of the vegetable in your place today, the cost of the vegetable in your place tomorrow, you don't know what will be the cost tomorrow. So you have to go and you have to find out. So survey research will be of different types. One is called exploratory research. Exploratory survey research. You know, ONGC, Oil and Natural Gas Commission, they keep on doing surveys in order to find out which place they will have petrol or they will have minerals. The geology people also do exploratory survey. If there is a businessman, if he wants to establish a factory, then he does the survey within the country and try to find out which place he will get the land at a cheaper rate. Will he get the manpower, the electricity, the water, the raw material, the transport facility, etc., etc. So he has to explore. And then, and only then he will decide. So he has to conduct a survey. And through that survey, he will come across that this is the place where I should have a factory. Now, if suppose you have a small plot of 60 by 50, and you want to put a hand pump or some other pump, then for that you have to survey to find out where the flow of the water will be more. And when you want to study that, it is an exploratory study that you will be doing it. And this is how you do. Another is the descriptive survey. That if there is a particular tribe, and if you want to describe their various functions, their family structure, or what type of work they do, then it is the descriptive type of survey that you do. And in that, my dear friend, it is not possible to do this without being part and parcel of it. Okay, so therefore, the descriptive survey involves that you have to be part and parcel of it. In case of you want to study any tribe, it's not from a distance. You know what Piaget did, which many times people say participatory. You have to be participate. So your descriptives are without, if you have to describe the Qutub Minar, then you can read from the books. But if you see it yourself, then I think you will be in a position to describe it in a much better way than it is already given in some book. So therefore, your personal experience is important. Another can be correlational survey. You know the meaning of a correlation. It is the two variables you have to, because the correlation cannot be in one. It has to be in two. There is a word called association. The teacher and student, there is an association between teacher and student. There is an association between the teacher, the mother and the child. So there are, these are correlations and associations. Many a times you think you try to, associate certain things. But in the literature, the word correlation has entered. So that is why they say is a correlational survey. But if you are not interested in using the word correlational, it can be relationship or relationship survey. Because relationship is a general word, correlation and association are two technical words. But these are the three which are part and parcel of the survey research. Then another is, if you want to study something which will be used afterwards, future, that if it is to be used in the future, then that has to be experimental research. And the COVID-19 vaccine is the outcome of the experimental research. That if the scientists would not have been able to do experiment, they would not have come out with the solution. So the experiment come out with the solution, and once that solution is beneficial for the human being, then they put it in the use or in the market. So your mobile is the outcome of experimental research. Your all types of medicines are the outcome of the experimental research. This IT, information technology that you are using today, is the outcome of the experimental research. So therefore, the outcome of the experimental research will be put to use only after it has come out. And then another type of research is called, if you want to study something very special, if you want to study something very special, then this is called case study research. My dear friend, case study can be a method of teaching also. In management, the teachers, they do tell to their researchers that you can take up this case. And when they teach, they take up a case. In management, they might be taking the case of the Tata, or they might be taking the case of the Mahindra, or they might be taking the case of some other businessman. So you can have case study as a method of teaching, but case study can be method of research. And when you say case means something very, very unusual. If it is not unusual, then of course it cannot become a case. And the case has to be alive today. Now, few days back, I read it in the online, the newspaper there, Times of India. In that Times of India, I read that there is one village in Gujarat, and they are using the solar energy. So somebody can do the case study of this particular village, that what type of people live there and what is their thinking and how they want to be self-sufficient as far as the energy is concerned. So that is what exactly can be the case study. The case study can be, okay, thank you, Lokesh. So you can do the case study. Say, I read it in the newspaper that there was one student in the MBBS from one of the universities in Mumbai. I think it was Mumbai University or some other. And that student got 6 gold medals. And it was reported that she is the first one who has got so many gold medals. So you can do the case study of that particular student. Another is, if there is a person who has topped in Harpreet, who is case in methods of teaching? Yes, in methods of teaching, you can have a case study method. So case study can be method of teaching. You use case study method of teaching in education, in psychology, in management, in physical education. You do it. So another one is that if suppose in UPSC exam, when the result is declared, this time the three girls, they got first position, second position, and third position. Now, if you want, you can do the case study of all the three, or you can do the case study of the candidate who came first, because he's something very special. Now, so you can do the case study of something which is very special. Special may be positive aspect or special may be negative aspect. Say, I read in the newspaper that there was one student in IIT Delhi. The IIT course is a 4-year course, and he completed that 4-year course in 9 years. Now you can do the case study of this particular student, that why is it that he could not complete the 4-year course in 4 years, why he took 9 years. So that time, so like this, so you can do case study of a person, of a village, of a country, even country also you can do. But then it has to be considered as one. Now, if I give you another example, that IIM Ahmedabad is always at the top. So you can do the case study of IIM Ahmedabad and see what are their academic, say, activities and other activities which they are involved, the students in which, and so that their student comes out to be, very good, and they get a very good package. They get a package up to 1.5 crore or sometime even 2 crore or like that. So you can do the case study. Now, if you see your philosophical research is 100% qualitative in nature, your historical research is qualitative as well as quantitative. Your survey research is both qualitative as well as quantitative. Your experimental research is maximum quantitative. It will not have qualitative. It's quantitative. Case study can be quantitative as well as qualitative. So quantitative and qualitative, these are the two characteristics which cut across all the subjects. Absolutely no problem. So therefore, you can differentiate them on the basis of, now, there are some steps which are common in all the types of the researches. But there are some steps which are different for philosophical research, historical research, descriptive survey research, and case study research. And for correlational survey and experimental research, the steps are some different. So you can differentiate them on the basis of steps followed, or you can say the methodology. And then there is another way in which you can differentiate amongst the researches. One is called basic research, or it is called fundamental research, or you can call the theoretical research. Another can be experimental research, or you can call applied research. And the third one is called action research. Now, these are the three types of researches. Your theoretical research is pure qualitative in nature. Your experimental research is quantitative in nature. And your action research is both qualitative, is quantitative in nature. So your experimental and action researches are quantitative. They will require the quantitative information, and your theoretical research is qualitative. So qualitative and quantitative, they cut across in all types of researches. But if this is the type of research, then what can be the base of differentiation? So on what basis can the theoretical research, experimental research, and action research be differentiated? Any one of you like to answer? On what basis theoretical, experimental, and are differentiated? So any answer to this question you want to have? Okay, 2 people have answered. Four people have answered. 5 people have answered. Please, I am not asking you what is a action research. Yes, Harpreet Kaur, I have seen your answer. So Ram Babu, I am not asking what is action research. I am asking the base on which these can be differentiated, or on what base, not basis. On what base theoretical, experimental, and action research are differentiated. So I'm asking the base. I'm not asking anything else. Anyway, so these are the one which you have to think of the question, answers of the 3 questions. Yes, Shruti, I have got yours. Think again. Okay, now we have little time, and let me go to the another point which I was to take up. Rupali, all research, they add to the knowledge. There cannot be any type of research which does not add or contribute to the knowledge. Outcome of all research, they add to the knowledge. Absolutely no problem. Now we are going to the steps of research. Any one of you like to tell me the first step of the research? Any one of you like to tell me the first step of the research? Okay, Shruti, no. Ram Babu, no. Yes, Harpreet Kaur, congratulations, your answer is correct. Francis, no, beta. Shubhi, yes. Only little change in the name. Now the first step is, my dear friend, identification of problem. I'm sure you know the difference between the selection. You know the difference between selection of problem and identification of problem. Say, when you go to the market to purchase your dress, so you go to a shop and you ask the shopman to show you the dress. He will show you variety. He will ask you, what is the cost? How much costly you want? What is the material that you want? Whether you want a small print or a plain or a big print. Like this. And then he will show you. And then you see and you see and you see. He keeps on showing you. And after that, maybe you take out a dress. You say, all right, show me some other one. Now, if you are going to the mall, in the mall, there are plenty. So there are people who will assist you. They will show you. So there are varieties. Makes it is a heterogeneous. From so many varieties, when you are taking out one dress or two dress or three dress or four, but you want to purchase one. So from large number, you have come to 3 or 4. Then from these 4, you will select one. So the selection is a part of identification. So identification is broader and selection is narrower. In the night, when you move and you want to find your path, I'm sure you narrow down your vision. The more narrower is your vision during the dark night, the better the clarity. So therefore, we start from the broad and we keep on reducing, narrowing it down, narrowing it down, narrowing it down. When it becomes so narrow that you cannot further narrow down, that is called selection. Now, when you go to purchase the vegetable, you see in the market what all types of vegetables are available. Now, on one vendor, there are 4 types of the vegetable available. And let us say you decide to purchase potato. And if all potatoes are of the same type, then you will just take that, give me 1 kg or something like that. If they are of different size, then you will select. All are potato, and now you are selecting. So that makes when the situation is a heterogeneous, we use the word identification, and when it becomes slightly homogeneous, then we use the word selection. So selection is a part of identification. And you know, when you go to take your food in any restaurant, they have a menu card, variety. Now you select among that variety and you say, we want this and we want this and we want this. That is the selection. So when you narrow down the things, it is selection. When it is wide, it's identification. So dear friends, I will close it right now here, and then tomorrow I come back to you and to complete the first step, the second step, and other steps. So thank you very much for joining. See you tomorrow. Keep learning. Stay safe.